for working with your health professionals and getting the most out of that experience. Where you can, look for somebody with post-polio experience. That can be hard to do. Our health professionals register, as I said, has a list of people who have either worked with polio survivors or done some training. It's a pretty short list. It's growing over time, okay? If you can't find someone with polio experience, your next port of call is neurological experience. So somebody who's worked with people with Parkinson's or MS, similar conditions like that, will have some understanding of how to treat you a little bit differently than, say, somebody who is a sports physio and treats people who, hurt their ankles while jogging. If you can't get neurological experience, then just ask what other experience they have. But usually you'll find somebody with neurological experience. Find out about their facilities. There's no point having the best physiotherapist in the world if there's 5 steps to get into their building and you can't do that. Educate them. That's something that it's very, very frustrating to have to do, but it's something that unfortunately often falls to you as the polio survivor, is that you need to be the educator. You need to be the one putting resources under their nose, pointing them to the website. But look for somebody who's teachable and willing to learn. I don't know why I've worded it this way. Make sure the assessment is thorough. It's up to them to make sure their assessment's thorough. But usually with an allied health professional, they're not doing blood tests, they're not getting objective measurements, they're asking you questions and you're answering them. So think about what they're asking and give them all the information that you can think of to give them, rather than just a direct answer to their question. But also I would point out, if they want to see you walking, maybe you can just nudge them a little bit. Like, sure, you've seen me walk up and down on a flat carpeted floor, how about we go outside? Or how about I try these steps, okay? When they're doing a strength test, we talked about this before, make sure they're doing it several times. They usually do, but again, you might just need to educate. Hey, this muscle's been affected by polio and it might drop off a little bit in strength, so can we do it a few times? You'll hate it because you'll be exhausted at the end of all that, but it's better to get a thorough assessment. When they ask about your day-to-day activities, think about all the things that you're doing and also all the challenges that you're having. So an OT, for example, is going to have a form and they're going to be asking you questions and writing down the answers. Are you able to shower and dress by yourself? Yes or no? And they'll write down independent if you say yes. But it might be that if you think about it, you can shower and dress by yourself, but you only ever do it when your husband or wife is at home because you feel a little bit dicey about it. Or you can, but you have fallen a few times when you've gotten out of the shower. So really think through, how independent are you? What actually do they need to know? How many falls have you had in the last 6 months is a question you'll get asked fairly often. But think about how many falls you've almost had. How many times have you just caught the wall in time, or somebody's grabbed you and you've only just stayed up? In terms of any kind of therapy, intervention, exercise, what's worked before and what hasn't, that's useful information for them. For example, a brace. Some people have had elaborate, very expensive leg braces made up and they say thank you very much, and they take it home and they put it in a cupboard or throw it straight in the bin because they hate it. So why did you hate it? Was it too heavy? Was it ugly? Did it not move right? And if that's the case, tell them so they can make something that's right for you. Don't waste your money or their time. When they ask about where you walk normally, think about not only getting in and out of your house, getting around your house, think about your back and front yard, think about people you visit often and what their layout's like, think about the shops that you go to. If you're experiencing pain and fatigue, as I said before, the more descriptive you can be, the more helpful it is for them to guide your therapy. So, I'm tired every afternoon, but I have a nap and then I feel better. Great. Almost I'd say problem solved. I'm tired all the time. That's a different story. I can only stand up for 5 minutes and then I need to lie down, or I'm in pain a lot but it eases with rest, or it never goes away. So just really give them a full picture. With speech and swallowing issues, is it at certain times of the day? Is it with certain foods, etc.? Okay. For aids and equipment, especially if you're looking for funding, please don't wait. Don't think, oh yeah, it'd be good to get a mobility scooter at some stage. then now is the time to get that ball rolling. If you're looking for funding, you can be waiting 12 months, 18 months, I think I've heard 2 years recently. So you really want to get on top of that if you can. Think about what equipment you're looking for, but also don't limit yourself to what you know about. So ask your OT or your physio, what else is out there that I haven't thought of? You know, you might have a friend who's got a mobility scooter that looks exactly like what you want, but it might not work for your terrain. Or they might have a wheelchair that's more suitable for you and has a really good battery and is a better alternative. So just ask them, what's the best thing for me, do you think? You get to make the decision, but they might know a little bit more about your options. When you're looking at equipment, think about what's the best purpose for you. So for example, a walking frame. It might be the biggest priority for you that it's lightweight so that you can get it in and out of the car, or it might be a bigger priority for you for it to be sturdy so that you can manage in your backyard, or have lots of carrying options so you don't have to carry things on your arm. So just think about the best purpose for you. As I said before, you need to communicate a lot with your health professionals. They don't know what you're not telling them. It's not like a blood test where they've got it all written down, they know exactly what you're going through. They know what you've told them. So if you have pain after the exercises, you all right, Margaret? After the exercises that they've given you, you go home and you're in pain for the rest of the day, or you're so tired you've got to lie down. They don't know that unless you tell them. If you're doing an exercise and they say to do it 10 times and you're doing it 10 because they said so, but the last 7 have been really hurting, you need to let them know. Okay, so they need to adjust your exercise program to make it work for you, but they can only do that based on the feedback you give them. With strengthening exercises, just make sure your physio or exercise physiologist knows what they're doing. I don't mean to sound patronising when I say that, but you want someone that's got an understanding or is willing to listen to you about your polio. If your muscle is significantly weakened by polio, trying to put weights or resistance bands on that muscle is most likely going to weaken it further rather than strengthen it. Has anyone experienced that? Yeah? If you've got good strength left in your muscles, or it's a muscle that's sort of getting weaker but not to do with polio, it's just a natural part of aging, you might be able to maintain strength or strengthen. But a significantly polio weakened muscle, you don't want to be messing around with weights and things. So they need to know that. This is a very important question, and don't worry about being that patient. You know, you don't want to ruffle any feathers. Don't worry about ruffling feathers. Ask why. Here, I want you to do this. Why am I doing this? Okay, it's a good way for you to understand that they know your specific condition and your specific needs. Okay. Ask lots of questions in general. Whenever you see any health professional and you've got questions, write them down and bring the piece of paper that you wrote them down on with you, and write down their answers. Okay, we all think that we have, well, I sometimes think that I have a wonderful memory, and it's not that wonderful, you know, so they tell me something and I think, I'll remember that later. No. So write it down and then you've got your answers. Think about, as I said, why are they asking me this? What are they wanting to know? If you're getting an equipment that you wear, ask them how to wear it in. So they should give you that, it's pretty standard, but sometimes you might have questions or you might not have written it down and it might not be clear. But for example, a brace, it might be wear this for 6 hours today and take it off, and then wear it all day tomorrow if it's comfortable, and then build up to wearing it all the time. Or it might be even less than that. You want to know so that you know what it's supposed to feel like. So get them to write down what they would call the wearing regime, and also ask, under what circumstances should I take this off or give you a call? Okay, so, you know, I went to the dentist the other day and they said, this is going to hurt for 2 days or so, and if it hurts longer than that, come back in. And that's the kind of information that you want when you've got something, especially something that you're wearing. This will be uncomfortable for X amount of hours or days, and then it should be fine, and if not, give me a call. Or it might be, if you notice any red areas, take it off and give me a call. But you want that information, so if they don't give it to you, ask for it. Any kind of equipment, whether it's something you wear or something you walk with or whatever, will have a maintenance schedule. Okay? So it might be that every 6 months you come and they check the stoppers under your crutches, for example. Ask them, like, when do I come back? When do we look at this again? If somebody's giving you recommendations on how to make lifestyle changes, diet changes, exercises, are you going to do it? Be honest with yourself. And if the answer is no, find a way of politely asking them if there's something else they might recommend, okay? So if they say, oh, off you go and walk for 10 minutes every day outside, and you just know that you're not going to do it, talk that through with them. Maybe there's something else they can suggest, or maybe you can just work with somebody to get that motivation happening. But there's no point saying, you know, yes, absolutely, I'll do that. You don't do it. What's the point? Okay,